In this video, we're going to talk about how to subtract polynomials. So we have an example up here on the screen. And the big thing to remember here is that when we're subtracting these two polynomials, we are subtracting this whole second part here. All of the pieces of that need to be subtracted from the first. So what we want to do is rewrite the first. It's always a good strategy for a problem like this to rewrite it. We rewrite the first without the parentheses, but then for the subtraction of the second polynomial, if we're subtracting, we're going to change the sign of all of the terms on the inside of the parentheses. So the sign of this first term is positive. We can't quite see it, but because it doesn't have a negative in front of it, we know that it's a positive. So we are going to change the sign of that and treat that as subtraction. So that's going to become minus 4x. And then we change the sign of this second term. The second term is minus 2. That's going to become plus 2. That's all there is to it. We just need to remember to change those two signs, and then we can drop the parentheses, and then we can treat this like any problem involving the combination of like terms. That is the trickiest part of a problem like this, remembering to change the sign of everything that's in those parentheses. Let's try a few problems. All right, number 1 here. Let's identify our like terms. We've got 10x, we have 5x, we have plus 5, and we have plus 2. So those are going to be our like terms. So we can rewrite the first part, 10x plus 5. And then for the next part, we're going to remember to change the sign because we are subtracting this polynomial. So plus 5x is going to become minus 5x. Plus 2 is going to become minus 2. And now it's just a problem involving the combination of those like terms. We already said that these were our like terms, 10x and minus 5x. Those will combine to give us 10 minus 5 is 5. And then we have plus 5 and minus 2. 5 minus 2 is positive 3 plus 3. That would be our answer to question number 1. So let's practice that process of changing the sign. I'm going to use this negative sign to change the sign of that and to change the sign of that. And we would do this no matter how many parts there are, how many terms are in those parentheses. So we can rewrite the first part, 3ab. And this is where you want to take the advantage of the opportunity to write when you're taking the test. Use the whiteboard. Minus, this is a positive 6ab, becomes minus 6ab because we're subtracting it. Now we're subtracting positive 2b. It's going to become minus 2b. Let's identify our like terms. Use a different color for this. 3ab and minus 6ab. 3 minus 6 minus 3ab. Our next set of like terms are plus 10b and minus 2b. 10 minus 2 leaves us with plus 8b. Minus 3a plus 8b. Let's take a look at problem number 3. I'm going to once again start out by rewriting the first part, just dropping the parentheses. You don't have to worry about doing anything with the parentheses on the first polynomial. On the second one, we need to remember to change the signs. That's what this subtraction sign tells us to do. change the sign of this. Change the sign of this. So two negatives make a positive. So this becomes plus 5x squared. For the positive 2, we're changing that sign, so that's going to become negative 2 or minus 2. And now we are at that point where we can combine our like terms. Change my color again. 4x squared and 5x squared are like terms. Positive 5 and negative 2 are like terms. Those are constants. 4x squared plus 5x squared, that gives us a total of 9x squareds. And positive 5 and negative 2, 5 minus 2, that leaves us with a positive 3. 9x squared plus 3. And finally, question 4. Now, what makes question 4 a little bit tricky is that you can see there's a lot of negatives going on here. We're subtracting, and we have negatives inside both terms on this polynomial. But if we follow the process, everything will be fine. 3z plus 1. This negative tells us to change the sign of that. Negative 2z becomes plus 2z. And the negative tells us to change the sign of that. Negative 2 becomes positive 2. Where are our like terms? We have 3z, positive 2z, 3 plus 2, 5z, and plus 1, plus 2, 1 plus 2, positive 3. All right, there are our four warm-up problems. 10 problems follow. If you have some trouble with those, feel free to watch this video again and try those problems a second time. Good luck.